Welcome to Props of Video tutorial. In this tutorial, we will take a look at how to compute the return potential for any investment property prior to purchase using PropSub's free online ROI calculator. Every investor, before they purchase a property, needs to figure out the return potential of the property. And so we're going to see how to do that using this calculator. Click on the ROI calculator on the PropSub homepage and you'll be taken to a screen where you're prompted to enter an address. Now on the address bar it says look up property address on Zillow because this tool uses Zestimate numbers to compute the cash flow. So I'm going to enter 5121 Breeze Hollow Court, Fort Worth, Texas. And as soon as I enter the property, PropSub pulls the Zestimate value, which is the price of the property, and then the Zestimate rent, which is the potential rent that you could be collecting per month for this property. And then we would then use those numbers to compute cash flow. PropSub has a proprietary algorithm that figures out the likely expenses for this property, things like management fee and vacancy losses and property taxes and HOA, and computes a cash flow number, which happens to be 10,768 in this case. And to your right, it presents you with a couple of projection scenarios and charts, and we'll go over them in detail. So in this case, what happens is if you pay cash for this property, you're likely to enjoy a cap rate of about 4.78%. Now, if you don't want to pay cash and you want to get a bank loan, you could just choose leverage purchase. And then there are some default options that are selected for you. The tool assumes that you're going to put 20% down, get a 30-year fixed loan at 5%. Now you could look at this and you say, oh my God, the cash on cash potential is negative. That's not a good thing. So what you're going to do is see if you can change some of these numbers and make this investment work. So I'm going to put 40% down, for example. Now things are beginning to look slightly better. So the point here is you could use this tool to simulate different scenarios to see what will make this deal work for you if you're interested in buying. Now, let's take a look at these charts. Before we go there, there are a couple of assumptions that this tool makes. It assumes that the property price is appreciating about 2% a year, and the rents are appreciating about 2% a year. And you could change this assumption to create different projections. For example, in this chart, it's showing you if you hold on to the property for 30 years, how much cash flow and appreciation you're likely to enjoy. In this case, your cumulative appreciation will be around $321,000 under the assumption that the property is appreciating at 3% a year. And also the cumulative cash flow is going to be around $220,000, assuming the rents go by 2% a year. And then this is the amount of principal you would have paid down over 30 years. And immediately to the right, there are a couple of charts that show you the growth. This chart is about income growth that shows you how your rents are growing and how your cash flow is growing. And then to the right, you would see the IRR chart, and you can look at the cash on cash growth potential. In summary, the numbers on this tool is editable, and you could just play with it to simulate different scenarios. Now, before you go ahead and buy, a disclaimer here, these numbers are estimates. These are really good estimates that gives you a good ballpark to get started, but definitely check with a professional licensed realtor to make sure that these numbers are accurate. And last but not the least, once you have this and you wanted to share this with somebody, you have the option to be able to share or export the screen to a PDF to email it to them later. Good luck.